Hello, my name is Roy Cohen. I am going to be hosting this particular edition of the Community Forum show. And we have a very special guest lined up. He happens to be sitting next to me. He's Steven Tyer. He is the administrator at Copley of Stoughton, which is located on Sumner Street. And you're going to learn a little bit about the facility when I finish all the questions I have for the gentleman. For those who may not be familiar with the Copley of Stoughton, what can you tell about the services, et cetera, that you provide? And what makes Copley different from all the other skilled nursing facilities?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me back.
Welcome.
I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Second time on your show. Copley, is a skilled nursing facility, which to most people, that means it's 82 beds that we have there are for long-term residents who live there, and 41 beds are dedicated to short-term rehab.
Okay.
Some people who had an accident or a medical condition, stay in the hospital a few days, they come to us and our job is to rehab them and get them home as quickly as possible.
And I suppose you have a pretty good success rate of rehabbing.
A very good success rate.
Very good. I know, from personal experience, I can tell that your facility is excellent.
I remember when you were there, Roy.
Award-winning.
Award-winning, yeah. Last year we were awarded from U.S. News and World Report, one of the best nursing homes, skilled nursing facilities in the country.
That's amazing.
And 2 years ago, we got a national award called an Eli Pick Award from the American College of Healthcare Administrators for the leadership of the facility and the management of it because of our outcomes.
Everybody should be very, very proud of that designation, of those designations.
We are.
And it's well worth it. How long have you been the administrator?
I will be there going on my 10th year in February. I've been there, I started back in February of 2011, so finishing up my 9th year now. It seems like I had all plans to stay in 6 months, and it's almost 10 years later. I'm still there.
There's a reason why you're still there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you're enjoying it?
Oh, I love it. I live 2 miles from the building. I'm a Stoughton guy, born and raised here. It's just fantastic seeing, working with my kids I went to high school with, grammar school, dealing with their parents and everything. It's really rewarding. And being in this business, I don't know anyone else who has that type of rewards that you get to, help people out who you've known your entire life. That's
amazing. You can just walk through the facility and say hi to this particular person, that person, and based on knowing them for years.
I have that benefit. I've had teachers, I've had parents of teachers I've had at the old Dawes School. We've had principals of schools. Just this morning, my phone rings every day with people who I played, youth hockey with, Stoyak basketball with, saying, can you help me out? My mom and dad, had an accident or whatever. So even you've been in town just as long as I have. If you go through there, you'd know half the people there.
Right.
And that's really what makes Copley unique.
Very unique. I don't think you have that kind of a situation with other facilities throughout the state or even in the country. I think what you're running is a very unusual, excellent facility.
It's rare to find it. Copley's probably the last, I'm pretty sure last in the state owned and operated skilled nursing facility of a local person. We have a board of directors. It's myself and Maria Unda. Your viewers will remember that name from Unda Bus Service.
Buses, yeah.
Well, she married Richie Unda. She's an attorney in Brockton that represents the Goddard Health Foundation. And she's another local person. Her phone rings as much as mine does saying, can you help us out, with a loved one.
And I'm sure you do the best you can.
We do. We try to accommodate as many people as we can.
The services that you provide, we'll get into detail on different types of things that you provide. Do you subcontract any of that work out?
No. Everyone who works there gets a paycheck every Thursday from Copley. And that's special because most skilled nursing facilities will subcontract out their housekeeping departments. Almost all of them subcontract their therapy departments because it costs more to do it the way I like to do it, but I like to have the control. And again, it's people who I've known a long time who I'm working with. And if it costs me $500 more to have a PT there than it would, it's not gonna bankrupt us if we can give better service for people. And again, most of them have an affinity to Stoughton or Easton or Canton. That's where they live and that's where they've grown up, and they're in the same boat as me. They're taking care of loved ones and neighbors and everything that they've known for years.
Most unusual. but good.
Yeah, very
And
unique.
I think that's a wonderful way to run the business.
Well, the big reason, Roy, that we do it, and you were one of my customers for a while, is that I want you to come to me if there's a small issue. I don't want you, if you were in any other place, most people wait till they're so frustrated with something. And it usually has nothing to do with the care. It has to do with a missing sock or pajamas that went to the laundry and came back shrunk or something like that. I want you to come see me when it's a small problem and not to the point where you're so frustrated that you want to leave or you want to go home early and not finish your rehab.
It's nice knowing that when you press the help button or the call button, that someone is going to come right in within a matter of a minute or two.
Yeah, they try. We're not perfect. But I'll tell you, we're very good. If something is wrong, we fix it right away. We fix it right away.
I'm aware of that, and I think that's wonderful. You're running a lot of ads that I see that are very tasteful. They're focused on choice.
Yes.
Can you explain this a bit more and why this is important for rehab services and long-term care?
Sure. So when Obamacare came about, everyone's heard that phrase.
Yes.
All of these ACOs were started, accountability care organizations, that where hospitals had contracts with certain skilled nursing facilities for this facility didn't benefit from it, but the hospitals did. They would get bonuses if they lowered their cost or things like that. Well, the only way you lower cost in my business is you send them home quicker. That's my only revenue is somebody lying in the bed. It comes to the bed from insurance or on Medicare. So when they're at the hospital, some of these, I'm not saying all of them, but some of the hospitals say, they try to direct them to certain skilled nursing facilities. Well, it is very clear in the Medicare regulations, which are law by CMS, that you have a choice to go anywhere you want if you have Medicare.
Right.
So if you're in Med A and they're telling you, well, you have to go to this specific skilled nursing facility, what I want people to do is say, you know what, I want you to refer me to Copley. I know Steve, I've known him for a long time, or I know Chris in our admissions department if you're from Easton, or Dennis, you remember Dennis, the head of rehab.
Oh, yeah.
He's from Canton. His dad owned a big pharmacy in Canton for years, so a lot of people recognize him. They say, we want to go to Copley. That's where we want to go.
I remember when I had the choice.
Yeah.
I think there were a couple in Boston, and then there was a Copley, and I says, it's right near near the house.
Yeah.
Definitely, and that was a good choice.
But again, I want you to know someone there. So let's face it, when can we use an example?
Yeah.
I'm sure you were very anxious. You were scared. You didn't know what was going to happen. You probably never went to rehab before in your life.
No, I didn't.
And now you got to come to Copley. But hopefully you were saying, you know what? I remember Steve's mother from the Bloodmobiles from years ago.
Right.
I don't really know Steve, but I know I'll meet him. And if you have any problems, I want to take all that anxiety away from you. I want you just to say you want to go to Copley, and then we will take care of everything from there.
And you did.
Thank you.
I went in there needing to
Thank
be
you.
fixed, and you guys took care of it. It was amazing. Very
It
regularly.
was a tough project, but we got there.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that.
I'm only kidding. Yeah,
I
it's
know.
good.
How important is it to plan in advance for either rehab or long-term care?
Well, I mean, long-term care is a totally different being. You need to plan financially. You need to plan where you want to go. You have a little longer time. I mean, I got 2 phone calls today from, again, kids I played youth hockey with about their parents going to come see me this afternoon. The financial part of it is it's expensive. I can tell you, though, Copley is the least expensive out of any place around, believe it or not. We give the best service, and we're the least expensive around.
That's interesting.
Again,
Without outsourcing.
without outsourcing, we get so many rehab patients come in, and again, our majority owner is the old Goddard Health Foundation. We don't have to make, I don't have to get every penny out of everything. But as far as the long term comes, hopefully 2 or 3 months before you need it. Now, short term, again, the situation you were in, you as an example, one day you're fine, the next day you find yourself in the hospital with an acute episode. Now you have to go to rehab, you don't know anything about it. So we're trying to get people from the communities, Easton, Stoughton, Canton, the ones around here, to come see us before. If they know they need a knee replacement or a hip replacement, hopefully they're going to go home from the hospital. But if they do need rehab, that when they ask them, where do you want to go, they're going to say, I want to go to Copley, or refer them to Copley. So they come, they've toured with us, they've visited with the rehab people, they've met all those therapists you were discussing earlier. They meet the nurses, they see the building, they see our dining room, what we can offer them, and they're comfortable then when they're at the hospital, that they're not worrying what's going to happen Friday when I'm discharged.
Right. I did a little research. There's a lot of information online.
Sure.
And I just want to read something here. That you folks, you place special emphasis on providing residents with exceptional medical care. You basically have covered that, as well as a sense of security and well-being. That's important. And you go beyond expectations to help residents achieve quality of life. They come in to be fixed, and you want to fix them, if I can put it that way. A highly trained professional staff, including nurses, physicians, and therapists, all working together with each resident and family to develop a personalized health care plan that is regularly reviewed to assure goals are met. And residents are also seen regularly by their attending physicians and by medical specialists as needed. Now, you encourage them to bring in their own doctor?
Well, we don't encourage that, and I'll tell you why. Most doctors don't want to come. They want to stay in their office, see as many patients as they can,
and get
come
paid
into the
for all
skilled.
that.
Yeah, of course. You know,
Yeah.
they're businessmen too. We only have 4 physicians. When I got there, we had 12 physicians. You know, and 7 of them.
That's a lot.
Well, they wouldn't come, and that gets us in problems with the Department of Public Health. I have 4 physicians. They're wonderful people. I don't know, can I say their names?
Go ahead.
Dr.
sure we'd
Nicholas Mikalakis from Compass, great guy. Maria Connor, she has her own practice. She's moved to Braintree. She lives in Canton. She's our medical director. She's been there for years. Veena Joshi, she's from Liberty Street in Brockton. And a gentleman by the name of Fabian Delgado. He specializes in skilled nursing facility rehab.
I remember him.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
So with those 4, the deal I have with them is, if you come between 8 and 4, because I don't want them waking you up at 10 o'clock when they're leaving the hospital or whatever to come
Right.
do it. 8 and 4, I will limit it to 4, and you know it's viable for them business-wise to to do this. And they all have nurse practitioners. So if they're not there, a nurse practitioner is there.
Okay.
Every day they're in and out.
The next best thing.
Yeah. But again, you don't need the doctor every day. You're in rehab now. You're not in the hospital anymore.
All right, I have specific questions that I'd like you to talk about, if you could. In the skilled nursing area, you offer 24-hour coverage by licensed nurses who are qualified and experienced in all aspects of nursing care.
Yeah. RNs, 24 hours a day. RNs and LPNs. On the rehab floor, we try to have mostly RNs. 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Okay.
They're always there.
Physical therapy, which is obviously one of the main things there. Your physical therapy gym allows patients to work out on parallel bars, stairs, platforms, stationary bikes, and other exercise equipment.
Yeah.
Occupational therapy.
Yeah. We have another special room for that. That's more like the things of average daily living skills, taking a shower. It's the things you wouldn't think about when you go to rehab. Well, you've never thought about them before you needed rehab. Now all of a sudden, you have to learn how to put your shoes on again, how to dress again, where you never thought you'd have to do this in your life. So that's what occupational therapists do.
My goal was to make it up the stairs.
There you go, 13 stairs.
13
Count them at your house, 13. Everyone has 13 stairs.
And your guys were very cautious about that.
Yeah.
Hold on, and I just
Well,
wanted to make it to the top.
One at a time, 2 days, every few days you go up another step, and it's just meeting little goals to get you there and keep your morale up and focused.
Okay, there are some diseases or illnesses that cause you to lose your speech.
Aphasia,
So you have to have, or stroke.
Well, we have speech language pathologists who help out with that. They help out with feeding, swallowing disorders, things like
Yeah.
that. We have, again, most places contract that out. We have them on staff. I have 2 of them on staff.
Physical, occupational, and speech therapies.
Yeah.
The best in the area.
Well, I like to think so.
Well, you
Maybe a
have a right.
subjective comment, but
You have the right to brag.
we have very good outcomes. I'll give you a number that we send about 88% of our short-term rehab patients go home. Now, that might not sound like a big number,
No, it is.
but the national average is about 61%.
They want to keep you there.
No, they don't get them home. They don't rehab them to a point. Because you got to remember, these are people who had serious accidents, joint replacements, medical conditions. Some stay with us, some have to go back to the hospital, but I'm very proud of that number.
So
It's a
your
big
goal
number.
is to exceed the expectations. Long-term patients feel like they're right at home at Copley?
We do, and again, think of it this way. If you go to Copley for long-term and you're 90 years old, you just, for whatever reason, that you can't stay at home anymore, your family, they're stressed out
Right.
too. I mean, I'll tell you, my father, I did it with my dad before he passed away. He came to Copley for a few weeks. He guilted me into taking him home. So I brought him home. He lasted one day. My better judgment was, Dad, you really need to be at Copley for the therapy, and I just can't take care of you at home. Come on, I want to go home. So I took him home. He lasted one day. My poor wife, Colleen, he almost fell with her. So he came back to Copley, but we tried to make it as interesting as we could for him, and we do this for everyone. We have a little pub there upstairs. We'd have dinners with my sisters and my nieces and nephews and everything. We take him out for trips, certain things that he'd like to do on the weekends. We take him. We could still do those. Copley's not a prison. So the goal is to make them comfortable. Now, the people I deal with are basing their opinions back on, in the 50s and 60s and 70s of nursing homes. They want nice places. They had some really bad places
They were
out
like
there.
prisons, I suppose.
They were just warehousing elderly people. And when I give tours to people, I gave a tour to a lady the other day. I said, let me guess now, before we go anywhere, your opinion of nursing homes are they smell awful, the food's horrible, and all you do is play bingo. Well, one of those is correct from what
Bingo.
you've seen. If I don't play bingo, we'll have riots on our hands. We got to play bingo multiple times a week. But the other stuff, the food is all prepared by our chefs right there. We don't buy anything frozen or stuff like that. The produce guys to see at the finest restaurants around here, they come to Copley right on the way going there too.
I have to talk to you about the bingo. I'm an experienced bingo caller.
We don't have big. If you want to volunteer, we'd love to have you. We don't have big. It's the camaraderie and playing again.
Oh, yeah.
I have a lady over there right now, and I won't say her name because she didn't give me permission to, but she plays bingo with one of her high school friends, and they haven't seen each other since Stoughton High back in the 30s.
Wow.
She's well into her 90s.
She must be excited about the new school.
She's wonderful. This lady, she's wonderful to deal with, and both of them are.
You have big money prizes?
Big money, 25 cents, $1. It's all about
It's
just
exciting.
playing.
The prizes are winning is to be able to yell bingo.
Oh, the competition's wicked.
Yeah, they have to have their specific seat.
Oh, yeah.
The little trinkets. And,
Yeah, absolutely, and God forbid if someone's in the wrong seat.
Your dietary program. Tell us about that.
Well, again, it's all done in-house. I have wonderful chefs. Our head chef has been there going on 20 years, Jen. I have 2 food service directors. Most places will have 1. I have one Bobby Joe who just does production for me and the menus. She's very, very gifted. And Marcia handles the business side of it, the pricing. The food prices change every day. And
Yeah.
she's always trying to find the best prices for everything. But again, by state regulations, I have to do tray service every morning. And it's kind of blah, I have to have an entree and an alternate. But we will, within reason and with enough notice, we will get anyone what they want. But some of the things on our menus are like ribeye steaks, homemade chicken pot pies, the dining room for breakfast. Like today, if we had pancakes with sausages or whatever, if you wanted eggs over easy, the chefs would make you eggs over easy right there. If you want scrambled eggs, they'll make you scrambled eggs. If you want fruit, cereal, bagels. And here's why I do that. I could probably save easily $300,000 a year in food costs. But I don't want you leaving Copley. If you're there for your hip, you expect me to rehab your hip. I don't want you leaving there saying, oh, they did a great job with my hip, but.
The food stunk.
Exactly, because that's what they'll tell everyone, and that's what everyone's going to remember.
That's what's most important.
Yeah.
Forget
So they'll
the
say,
hip.
oh, yeah, the hip was great, and the food was fantastic.
Yeah.
And really, I eat there every day, so I've gained a few pounds since I've been there.
I noticed that about you. That's interesting. So they come around every day with a choice on the menu.
Sure.
You pick out what you
Yes.
want, and they deliver it, and it's excellent.
Yeah, but if you don't want that, just tell them what you want. If you just want a sandwich or a grilled cheese or a salad with chicken, we'll do whatever we can to make you happy.
Right. You have, it's like a hotel. You have short-term stays?
Yes. That's on the first floor where you were, on the Adams unit.
Right.
We try to make that, again, as comfortable as we can with that end room. If you recall, the last time I was on your show, we did the interview down in that end room with the big TV, and they like to watch football and baseball down there and everything.
So basically, the person it needs attention. The family gives that person attention, but then they want to go away and have to do something.
The short terms are more people who come to us on Medicare. They had an acute episode in the hospital, and they'll stay upwards. I think my average length of stay down there is about 19 days. Mm-hmm. So every 19 days, there's new people coming to the bed.
We did a show recently on hospice care.
Yeah.
That requires a very strong stomach, if I can put it that way.
Sure.
In taking care of a person who you know is not going to be around very long. How do you view that, the hospice care?
Well, I think it's more for the families. They do keep our residents comfortable. I have 3 people right now in hospice care. I mean, it's end of life. It's going to happen to all of us. You can't deny it or try to run away from it. It's going to happen.
Right.
But as my wonderful dad used to say, it's how you pass. It's not if you pass, it's how you pass.
How you pass, right.
And the hospice nurses are very well trained, as our staff could do it too, with medications like morphine and stuff to keep someone comfortable. Mm-hmm. What hospice does though too, it's wonderful for families.
Yeah.
I could never be a hospice provider. And I mean, I'll have a lady 100 years old that's been with me 10 years and she passes away and I'm like a weeping willow. I'm so sorry for your loss,
Yeah.
When I go to see, the Farley, he's like, oh boy, Mark will be here, comes Steven again, get the tissues ready. Mm. But these hospice people are just gifted in consoling people, keeping them down, and that, it's her time or his time. Let's keep them comfortable. And I'm a big fan of hospice.
My sister volunteers in a hospital in Santa Monica.
Sure.
She's basically in the area where they are probably not going to last very long. Mm-hmm. Just giving them as much aid and stuff that they can.
Yeah. I'll add one other thing to the hospice though, is that even at Copley, we go out of our way to try to make sure no one passes alone. So if the hospice nurse isn't there, one of the CNAs will be with them, or the nurse will be with them.
Okay. Well,
I don't know why I have that in my head. I think that's just a good thing.
It's an excellent
that
thing.
No one passes by themselves.
Right. Medicaid, Medicare, certified?
Oh, yeah. We participate in both. All insurances.
HMOs?
We do take HMOs. The problem I see with HMOs is sometimes the people don't understand what they signed up for. Mm-hmm. When you have a managed care like that, the key phrase is managed. They manage your care. It's out of my hands. So if they authorize you for a week, you have to go home after a week. You can appeal it, but Medicare patients tend to get a little more.
Okay, we're going to show some pictures in a few minutes, but let's, you offer a number of amenities. I was kind of surprised when I saw a beauty parlor in a conference room and all that kind of stuff, or the sitting room down the end. What are some of the amenities that you offer?
Well, just from the physical plan, what you just said, each floor has like a living room set up with a large screen TV with every cable channel you could imagine.
And comfortable seating.
Comfortable seating. And all of this is geared, I want people to come visit. I want families to come have functions there. I want them to have birthday parties there. This is people's home. Upstairs, it's their home. The beauty party, Julie, she's been with us for years. She comes twice a week. She can do anything down there. She can't do much with me, but she does do colors and perms and anything else that the residents want to have.
Yeah.
She'll come in on special occasions if someone's grandchild or loved one's getting married. She'll come in on a Saturday morning to do their hair for them. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know any other place that'll do that for you. And then upstairs.
And you also have a barber shop.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Julie handles the barber too.
Okay.
Upstairs we have a little pub, TV, a little bar. Families love to use it for functions. I encourage them on Friday or Saturday evenings if they want to bring takeout in. And, have a little function with the loved one, with grandchildren and stuff, we encourage that. The plaza is a more formal setting that can probably seat, I think it can seat 20 people in a dining room setting type. We do special functions in there, but again, we encourage, if a resident wants to use that, it's their home. So we'll tell them, just reserve it for this day, we'll set it all up for you. You invite whatever guests you want to come over.
Okay.
And I don't charge them for that, or it's
You just
it's
make it
like,
available.
yeah, they can do it, yeah.
Cable and telephone access,
For the short termers, we do have basic cable and phones.
that's not in all the rooms.
It is now in all
Oh,
the
it
rooms.
is
Yeah,
now.
I've added that to all the rooms. We used to have this antenna, but it kind of faltered, so I had to put cable in. The
Okay.
problem, the only downside to that is Comcast makes me put separate contracts on every bed. So I have, I don't know how many, I have 60 cable bills I pay each month for $22 or something.
Oh.
They all get done. Upstairs, it's up to the resident what they want to have for cable. They can have Comcast or whoever they want, but that's on them. They have to pay for that.
What about the computer access with Wi-Fi?
Yeah, that's everywhere. We don't charge
In-
anything
in
for
the
that.
rooms?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
There's, I'm not a tech guy, but I know I have these wireless things up in the ceilings
yeah.
on
And
every unit.
we talked about the cook-to-order menu in the main dining room. Dottie's Pub, I think you might have mentioned that.
Yeah,
What
that's
is-
one I mentioned, yeah.
And furnished patio.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Out back, we do have a wonderful patio that's safe. It's a loop. I had one of our local landscapers who does all the work at Copley. He does a wonderful job with it.
They do a beautiful
Spring, yeah,
job.
his name's Bill Provost. Really
Right.
nice guy.
A neighbor.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, really good guy. Bill's a really good, I call him a kid. I'm 56 now, but he's not a kid. He has a nice little company there. He's grown it well. He expanded some of the patios for us and stuff. And a lot of residents in the summertime, what I'll do between 1 and 4 is I hire college kids or high school seniors going into college to be out there with the residents. And we'll have 20, 30 people out there at any given time.
Animals. I've seen recently that hospitals are encouraging people to bring their dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs bring comfort
Yeah.
to the patients.
It's unconditional love. So we encourage that too. Lots of people every day, there'll be dogs coming in. Even to the point we have a police officer here in town who brings his Boston Terrier in a couple times a week.
Oh, really?
He had a loved one there, and then he just keeps doing it.
That's nice.
And we have golden retrievers. People bring cats in. As long as they're on a leash, I'm fine with it. I can't have them running around the whole place.
No.
But I encouraged having dogs come in, and like you said, they find great comfort in them.
Yeah, they miss their animals.
Sure.
You have quiet sitting rooms.
Yes.
You have a reading library.
Yes.
We'll
yes.
see a picture, I believe, on that. And then you have either private or semi-private rooms with private half baths.
Yes.
All of them.
Some of the private rooms have a private shower in them too.
Yeah.
There's one on each unit that we have to do that.
Mhm.
Again, the private rooms aren't, people think it's, I just want a private room. But if I have a younger guest or a younger resident for whatever reason needs long-term care, and by younger, I'm talking 60, 70 years old.
That's younger.
We try
To
to, well,
some
in my
of us.
business, it's very young. So we try to put them in a private room.
Uh-huh.
And it's all need-based. It's not based on popularity or anything like that, or how. There's another misconception. People think it's based on who's paying privately, and it just isn't. Factually, yeah, I don't base anything on how I'm getting paid.
Oh, that's nice. Live entertainment.
All the time, at least once a week.
You have outsiders come in.
They come in, they sing. Some are great. Some just want to do it because they like an audience.
Yeah.
They're just as good too. We are known for coming up soon, our holiday party
Yeah.
that has 300 or 400 people will show up, and we have entertainment everywhere and food, and people love the sing-alongs. These people are very gifted.
I think I remember Santa Claus coming around.
We do that too.
It was that time of the year. Religious services,
We
all
have
denominations.
all. We do on Fridays, we do a rosary service. I think it's every other Tuesday, Father Joe or Father Will comes from the Stoughton Collaborative. Harry, next door from the Episcopal Church, comes on Sundays. If you haven't met him yet, he's a wonderful, he's the
haven't.
new rector. He's Harry Walton's his name. He's a fantastic guy. He's really done a lot with Trinity, and they're fantastic. Great neighbors. I hope he thinks we're great neighbors too.
Right.
He lets me park over there. We have a rabbi come every week. So we really cover all bases. But I'll tell you, my guests like to go to everything. Catholic, Jewish, Episcopalian, Unitarian, they like to go to everything. They don't. It doesn't bother them what
It
they're.
keeps them busy.
Oh, they find it
which is-
interesting. I do too. I'm, I go to St. James myself, but the Jewish services I think are fascinating.
I do too.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Oh, you.
Copley at Stoughton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Center is respectful of all races, and religions, and services are held regularly, as you're just saying, by the clergy of various faiths.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Activities, arts and crafts.
Well, that is our most famous project we have going. I think you might even have some pictures of them. Our residents, under the direction of Cheryl Woodward, who is our activities director, do these wonderful murals. We've had the murals hung at the State House in Boston. The governor asked who did this. We have them hanging at our trade organization in Newton in their lobby.
Oh, there we go.
This one here, yeah, that's a great picture. So what they do is each one of those is panels, smaller 1 foot by 1 foot panels.
These were done by patients.
By the residents, yes. Yes.
That's in the main lobby when you walk in.
Right, so each season we change it. Like we just changed it last week.
There's another one.
That was our one for last spring. That was the springtime one, the
Pretty.
summer one. So
You change them?
every season we change it. So they're working now on the winter mural, even though the fall mural just went up last week. The beauty of this program is it doesn't matter if you can do fine artwork, if you can you have no artistic abilities at all. They love doing that. It brings them such esteem to do it, and I get the biggest kick out of it to see their faces when we unveil it. They are so proud of those murals.
I mentioned to you the other day when I talked to you on the phone that one thing I really commend you about is when you walk into the facility, you're greeted by a receptionist who has a smile on her face.
Miss Ina.
Ina Weiner.
Ina Weiner, everyone knows her.
Everyone knows her.
She's a good egg.
She even answers the phone with a smile. You can sense that there's a smile there. And that's important.
But even the other one, Charlene, all of the kids who answer the phone, and I say kids because I like to, again, Copley is so fixed in the community. I like that people will call me, can my daughter have a job or whatever? She's a senior in high school or whatever. Sure, if they want to be a part-time receptionist, working activities in the summertime. I'd like to do things with community people.
Excellent. Great attitude. I enjoy having you on.
I like Copley. I'm very proud of it.
I can tell. All right, the cooking classes.
Yeah, we do those with Bobby Joe.
I would be good for that
Our
because
chef.
I think I know how to turn a stove on. That's about the extent
I'm
of
with
my...
you, Roy. But again, they get a kick out of doing the classes, and then they decide what they want to cook. Bobby Joe tries to find the recipes because she's a fantastic chef. And she learns things from them. We've had things put on our menus because of the cooking classes.
That's nice. Very good. And different games they can play in these in the community room.
Oh, yeah. There's all, that's
all
like
you're
the
doing is
basic
keeping
stuff.
people busy.
But what we do too is we go out a lot.
Okay.
We go to Walmart. They love Plain Ridge Casino. These people are adults.
Really?
It's not a prison over there.
Yeah.
They like to go to Tommy Doyle's all the time. They like to have a Cosmopolitan when they go out. I mean,
Are you sure it's a nursing rehab center?
They can do whatever they want. That's where people, again, when they get there, 99% of them are thinking they have this fixation that it's like it was in the 60s or 70s. It just isn't.
Stuck in the room.
You're in a wonderful place here, and if you want to go out, go out. I had a lady yesterday, she just wanted to go out and see the leaves. No problem.
That's a
We
great thing.
arranged it. Her husband came, we got her in the car, drove her all around town, up to Ames Pond, all over, looking at the leaves.
Yeah.
She couldn't have been happier.
They were pretty.
And we do that every day for people.
Fitness fun.
Well, I need some fitness right now. When I get up, my knees hurt, So we try to keep people, when you see them in these groups, you might think it might look a little childish, bouncing a ball or working on your
No,
balance.
That's not
It is
childish.
hugely, hugely important
Sure.
for your fine motor skills
Coordination.
and coordination, because falls in the elderly are tough. And when people come to Copley, I don't guarantee you're never going to fall again because I can't tie people down. I'll never do that.
Yeah.
So we try to work on their balance and their fitness.
Social groups, such as men's groups,
Yeah.
Portuguese social group,
Portuguese.
Pink ladies.
Yeah, that's a arts and crafts thing that they do. The men's group, that kind of comes and goes. Right now, it's just myself and one other guy. We play cribbage once in a while down in my office or up in the pub.
Yeah.
We do that. In the Portuguese group, we had a lady who retired from us. She worked there for years. She used to run it. From Stoughton, wonderful lady. I got to find another Portuguese woman or man who wants to volunteer for us and get that going. Because being in Stoughton, we have a lot of Portuguese guests.
Maybe somebody who's
Residents.
watching the show will give you a...
Well, that'd be great if they would.
All right, why don't we take a
very
look at some of these
beneficial.
other pictures that you were nice enough to supply. Here's, this is outside. This is the first thing you'll see when you come to 380 Sumner Street.
I just put that in a few years ago. People recall the old sign.
Yeah, no,
It
that's
was-
pretty.
It was perpendicular to the street. You couldn't see it. I mean, it was horizontal to the street.
Yeah. All right, the next one. There's another view of the entrance.
Coming up the driveway. You
Look
can
at
see
that.
from that one, though, Roy, people ask us, oh, I didn't know you were a nursing home.
No.
They like to say that. We thought that was an apartment building or something. Or I get, oh, we can't afford that. I'm like, of course, please.
Talk to me.
Let's just come talk to me
Yeah.
and we'll figure something out.
All right, next one is the outdoor
This is the patio. This is the patio that Bill put in for us, Bill Provost. He
Yeah.
did a nice job with that.
All right. And there's the...
The dining room.
Upstairs.
So we do-
Nice.
We do 3 meals a day in that dining room with settings like that.
It looks like home.
Yeah, a lot of places might do 1 meal, but again, the residents love the dining room. Last Sunday I came in because one of our, we had a scheduling issue, so myself and our staff development coordinator did the dining room Sunday morning. One
Sitting
of our
room?
sitting rooms, yeah.
And a room.
Resident, yep, very typical resident room.
Looks
That's
like a hotel.
furniture. Well,
Fancy one.
it is, but we have electric beds and,
Well, okay.
you know, the nurses come and go.
That's another sitting room shot.
Yes, that's on the short term. This is the pub we were talking about.
Uh-huh.
That I really want people to come up. This is where Julie does her magic down the salon.
Everybody but you.
Well, there I am, before I had my beard. There's not a lot you can do with me. These 3 ladies are our chefs. Bobby Joe is in the back right, Marsha's up front, and then Jen is to the left there, looking at it this way. Very, very gifted. They serve food like you can't believe. People are astounded sometimes at the food.
And they're happy. Look at them with smiles.
3 of our CNAs who are just fantastic. These ladies are my nursing supervisors. Judy Johnson is our director of nurses. Here's the rehab team that most people will recognize who were there. They're all still there.
Yeah.
Diane with the white vest, she just retired. She had to take care of a loved one.
The
But
gentleman,
everyone's
the
there.
one in the middle, he's, what's his name?
Dennis Andriotti.
He's still there?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Good guy.
Everyone's still there. There I am. That's Maria Under with the red skirt on, next to Dennis, between Dennis
Her
and
brother
I.
was Walter.
Well, that's her father-in-law.
Her father-in-law was
Yeah.
Walter.
She married Rich.
What a great guy.
But the beauty of Maria, we're both townies, and the way Copley is owned, it's the majority of it's owned by the old Goddard Hospital. And they have a foundation that's what Maria manages. I manage Copley, she manages the foundation. Both of us are the board for Copley. So whatever profits we have from Copley, her foundation's a not-for-profit, she gives it back to the community.
Yeah, you mentioned that you folks have charities that you support.
Well, personally, Copley, we supported the library.
Uh-huh.
We gave a very sizable donation, Copley and Goddard together. Goddard gives away scholarships to kids who want to go into the healthcare. Tens of
That's
thousands of dollars a year. We're talking,
So nice.
it is a lot of money they give away.
Yeah.
Fire departments, they give them equipment. They gave, Maria came up with the idea. We gave a sizable donation to Brockton Hospital School of Nursing, which would fit in perfect with us. I'm always looking for nurses. I said, well, we should help them out to train them. And
Absolutely.
hopefully a few will come our way. That's not why we did it, but
Yeah.
it was just the right thing to do.
Great. Are there any more pictures, or do we do them all? No more pictures. We, by the way, thanks to the gentlemen who run this place for converting the pictures for us. They do that every week, and they're great. Special events. Residents and guests enjoy an array of entertainment, including singers, a variety of musical bands,
Yes.
and special themed celebrations regularly, such as the Belmont Stakes Day.
Yeah.
Oh, gambling, huh?
Well, they like it.
Flag Day,
We do most of them.
Strawberry Shortcake Day.
Yeah.
You
The
don't-
best is our holiday function, and also we have a wonderful affiliation, not affiliate, it's a loose affiliation, I should say, a mutual respect with a group from Sharon called the Sharon's Men's Group, who they have a great singing group. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're really a nice group of
No.
civic organization.
Well, that's nice. And some of the outings that you're talking about, more specifically baseball games like Red Sox or
Well, we would,
Brockton?
if somebody wants to go, the problem with that is it's such hard to get them in there.
Yeah,
We go to Rocks games,
okay. That's in
Brockton Rocks.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, people like to go to Stoughton Little League games. 'Cause
Sure.
they're all from around here.
yeah.
We've taken them to tours at Foxborough Stadium. We charter a boat and take them down the canal and have clams and stuff each summer. We didn't do it this summer for the day we were supposed to go. It rained, so we couldn't go.
Oh,
And then it was tough to reschedule it.
yeah.
And sometimes it's just too hot to go. But those are some of the special things we do.
So you got baseball games, casino trips, dining at local restaurants,
Yeah.
local theater,
If that's what they want to do.
and shopping.
Shopping, yeah, that's always a biggie.
Amazing. Let's take
You know what's better though, Roy?
What's that?
The people who own those places, like they like to go to the Maui, they like to go to Tommy Doyle's things. They are such accommodating to them. It's wonderful.
Sure, why not?
Oh, they think it's great when they come.
You must have trained them.
Well, I don't know. Cheryl, she gets all the credit, not me.
There you go. Let's take a break. We have some public service announcements that we like to play in support of some of the places, the facilities in Stoughton, and we'll be right back. Hi, this is Roy Cohen. The crew would like to thank Maxie's Delicatessen, located at 117 Sharon Street in Stoughton. You can reach them by calling 781-341-1662. The American Cancer Society is looking for volunteers to drive cancer patients to and from treatments. You can volunteer by calling 1-800-ACS-6662 or online at www.cancer.org. Ilsa Mark's Food Pantry and St. Anthony's Free Market is located at 2 Park Avenue in Stoughton. For more information, call Christine Gallagher at 781-341-0611 or 781-341-0549. To get involved with Meals on Wheels, call Jessica at 781-344-8882, extension 2. The Stoughton Penny Saver. Our business is advertising your business in Stoughton. To advertise, call 781-344-4833. Community Forum showtimes here in Stoughton. You can see it on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 6 p.m., Monday at 8 p.m., Tuesday at 5 p.m., either on Comcast Channel 9 or Verizon Channel 28. If you have any comments or suggestions, contact us at communityforum1@yahoo.com. Samaritans, 41 West Street, 4th floor in Boston, Massachusetts, 02111, or call them at 617-536-2460. The 24-hour helplines, 877-870-HOPE or 877-870-4673. Samaritans, 800-252-TEEN or 800-252-8336, or online www.samaritanshope.org. For you bingo players, I want to tell you about the Monday night bingo being held at the Ahava Torah Congregation, 1179 Central Street in Stoughton. The doors open at 4:30 p.m. The games start at 6:30 p.m. You come on down and win some money. They have 2 big prizes. One is $1,199 and the other one is up to $3,000. So come on down. Well, we're back, and another piece of information you may be asking is, where is the Copley at Stoughton? They're located at 380 Sumner Street in Stoughton. The phone number is 781-341-2300, or you can communicate directly with Steve at STYER, Styer, at copley-nh.com, or go online to www.copleystoughton.com. And we're back with Steve Tyer, the administrator of the Copley Nursing Home. I think I'd like to talk about the healthcare proxy,
Sure.
if that's okay. Who do you designate as a healthcare proxy if you're not able to make that decision?
Well, it can be anyone you want. I would, you got to put a little thought into it.
Yeah.
I'm just telling, again, from my personal experiences with them, like my dad's was my sister Linda, who is very calm, cool, and collected. She's in the healthcare field.
Right.
You know, you don't want me as one because, you know, I get too emotional about when bad things happen.
Okay.
But it can be anybody you want, and you also, it's a simple form. You can get them online. If somebody doesn't have a computer and wants one, I'd be happy to mail one out to them. You ask for an agent, who is the first one, then an alternate in case the agent refuses or can't do it, and it just has to be witnessed by a third party.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally legal. You bring it to the hospital with you. Everyone should have one.
What does a healthcare proxy do?
When the proxy, let me answer that first by what it doesn't do. Just because you sign a proxy, if I am your proxy, your physician has to activate that proxy.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we get into trouble with families sometimes. The person comes in and says, I'm my father's healthcare proxy. No, you're not. You're your father's healthcare agent right now.
Mm-hmm.
When the proxy is activated, that means you cannot make competent decisions anymore, healthcare decisions.
Okay.
Signs a directive, now I make those decisions for you. Prior to that, you know, your siblings, your children have no say. And if you say it's black and they want it's white, I'm sorry, your dad wants it. It's black. That's the way it is. So they make decisions for you when you don't have the ability to make them any longer.
Okay. Are you talking about being a power of attorney also?
No, that's a whole other. I would suggest your power of attorney is more financial things. You know, maybe some of the lawyers watching this will have a better answer than I have. But power of attorney is more for financial matters.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem I see with that is when you have a healthcare proxy is one person, your power of attorney is a second person, and those two are not on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
That creates problems.
Okay. Some of the things that the healthcare proxy will do or be, an example would be, do you want to be resuscitated?
Correct.
In other words, CPR, for example, if you have a heart attack or you stop breathing.
Yes.
Do you want advanced life support systems if necessary to keep you alive?
Yes. You can designate all those things on the healthcare proxy.
And
These are my wishes. I want it. I don't want them. And the proxy should honor your wishes.
okay, do you would you want certain decisions made based on your religious beliefs?
Again, that's up to you and the proxy. You should have those discussions with them before you actually get the proxy invoked on what your wishes are.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing you require to be read and signed upon admission.
Not signed, Roy. Read, though. By law, I have to give that to you.
Okay.
You don't have to sign a healthcare proxy. I can't make you sign a healthcare proxy.
Mm-hmm.
But what will happen, again, sometimes I deal with some older folks. If we don't have that, we're going to start CPR on you. I'm going to call 911. The Stoughton Fire Department's going to come. They're going to do CPR on you and send you to the hospital. Some people don't want that. You know, if my family didn't want that when it was their time. They didn't want heroic measures done.
Was this something that the administration would review prior to a person getting to that point?
Yeah, well, yes, and we'd ask you for it, which is great because it puts the nurses at 2 a.m. can't be in that position. They need to know who they need to resuscitate if the time comes and who they don't. But your wishes should be known to whoever you sign that healthcare proxy with, who you grant that to, on what your personal wishes are. and they will abide by those.
Okay. Every story has a beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
We've talked about the middle. We've talked about the end. The beginning.
Sure. The beginning.
We need to know about the admission process.
Okay. So for the long-term side of the facility, I can tell you, if you call me today, I might not have a bed for 6 months. We are that busy. It's very rare we have beds come available.
Mm-hmm.
So those people, I would suggest you start, if you're interested in long-term care or you just want to look into it, come visit us. You don't need to if you make an appointment, that's great. But if you're just driving by and you want to see the place, you're more than welcome to come in and ask for myself or Chris Simonson. You might have remembered her.
Mm-hmm.
She's been with us for well over 20 years. She handles all of our admissions. And we'd be happy to give you a tour, show you around, and give you some information about Copley. Now, for the short term, the same, as I mentioned a little earlier, when you go to the hospital, they will make a referral to us. The case manager is going to come to you and say, you know, you need to go to rehab. We're suggesting rehab. If you decide, okay, I'll go, they're going to say, where do you want to go? Hopefully, if you're from the Stoughton area or this, you said, well, I'd like to if I could go to Copley.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be fine. They will make a referral to Copley, send us everything you need done. If I can't help you, I've committed to a lot of families, like we don't have a dementia program. If someone has advanced dementia and you call me for assistance, I'll try to help you find a place. I've been doing this a long, long time, so
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone in this business. They'll try to help you out to find a place that's suitable for you. But as far as, just for example, you fall and you break your hip and had to have your hip replaced, they'll send us a referral. If I have a bed, we'll review everything. I'll check your insurance. Chris will call back to the hospital and say, okay, it's all done by computer. We're willing to accept Mr. Cohen. You know, when will he be ready?
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to go to you and tell you Copley has a bed for you. And you say, good, I want to go to Copley.
Mm-hmm. Which would definitely be my decision.
Right. Some places they'll give you, again, as we mentioned earlier, 3 places. By law, they have to give you 3 options. You might not know any of them. You're like, I don't know what to do. Hopefully someone has come to visit us beforehand and feel comfortable with us and say, no, that's where I want to go.
This is kind of maybe a dumb question, but you don't overbook. You don't have people
No.
In the hallway in a bed or something.
No.
Like a
If anything, I
hospital would do.
underbook. Because everything I've told you today, Copley is such a unique skilled nursing facility.
Okay.
I don't know. And I used to be the COO of a big company. We had 30 of these buildings. Nothing runs like Copley. I always try to keep, 6 to 10 beds open because we get that many phone calls from people saying, Steve, remember me? We played Little League together. My father heard him, can you help me out?
Right.
We played out, of course I'm going to help you out. Or your dad was, I was a patient of your dad's, can you help me out?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna. Or Maria will call me saying, I got a phone call from so-and-so, Mrs., she fell. But I gotta have the beds open to help people, so that's what we try to do.
In the admission process, what if somebody doesn't have insurance?
Well, they'd have to apply for Mass Health. Coming from the hospital, I've never run into that someone didn't have insurance, because you apply for Mass Health benefits.
Right.
That's a process that would probably be done well before someone is calling me to look for it.
Mm-hmm. What are some of your current challenges facing skilled nursing?
Day in and day out, it's trying to meet expectations of family members. And again, we're very good at it. 98% of them, there's no issues, but you always get a guilt-ridden child who just makes your life miserable. That happens once in a while.
Yeah.
And we try to deal with them. I understand they're going through a tough time. They live out of state, or we're going on a trip and the phone rings and Ma fell or something bad happened to Ma. They have to turn the whole world upside down. Dealing with regulations is difficult. It's easier to have a kidney transplant than it is to get admitted to a skilled nursing facility. There are so many rules. There's over 600 regulations we have to abide by every day.
Mm-hmm.
And we just started October 1st a brand new payment methodology for Medicare, which is probably about 50% of our business. So now we have to learn all that and train everyone on that.
Mm-hmm.
And just battling with this, this year we were very successful with our, Walter Timmelty and Lou Kofka helping us with funding,
Mm-hmm.
For skilled nursing facilities, because the Medicaid program just didn't pay it. We were losing $30 a day on everyone.
Wow.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they're funding it more. They're seeing that this is there's going to be a big need for this, and they have to make sure that there's places. Copley's just one little place.
Mm-hmm.
We have 123 beds. There's 40,000 people in nursing homes across the state.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be viable, or they go out of business.
And
Then what are you going to do?
And only one good facility.
Well, there's a few. One good one around here.
Right, right. We talked about the unusual. You're a community resource or contributor. That's really interesting. To put up if we could have that information put up again about how to get in touch, that'd be nice. That's Copley at Stoughton. They're located 380 Sumner Street in Stoughton. Telephone number is 341-2300. Email is styer@copley-nh.com, or on the website, which I found to be very informative, www.copleystoughton.com. Check it out. You never know when you're going to need them, and it's. I hope that you'll understand that after watching this program that it is something you definitely would be interested in going to if you need it. And I can highly recommend the facility. I went in a few years ago needing some serious help.
Yeah.
And they were there, and I left there in pretty good shape. I thank them for all of the good work that they did on me, with a smile on their face, which was nice. Steve, thank you very much for coming in. It was very informative. I enjoyed having you on, and look forward to seeing you again on Community Forum. This is Roy Cohen saying thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.